I want to be a nurse. I want to be a primary school teacher. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an artist. If you've ever felt this confusion, then stay tuned because today we'll be considering the multi-passionate career. Hi, I'm Serena Simmons and welcome to 8 Model Psychology. So I'm going to start by asking you whether you had a dream job when you were a kid. Did you know what you wanted to do for a living? What was it? Was it like one of the jobs I mentioned at the start, so an astronaut or a teacher? For me, I can tell you that from the time I could speak, I told everyone that would listen to me that I wanted to be a doctor. I was a really strange child because I would get very old medical books and I liked to look at all of the medical illustrations in them and pretend to read them. Yes, that's right, I would tell all and sundry that I was going to be a doctor when I grew up. But inevitably, as I got older and things changed, although I kept that dream to some degree, when I got older and I realised I'd have to do science A-levels, and also on a completely serious note, when I realised that I didn't completely agree with the medical model around mental health, and I knew I wanted to go into psychiatry at the time, then I changed my view and I thought psychology was probably a better fit for me. So that's what I did. I went off to university, I studied psychology, and I also picked up a second degree in criminology because I actually really loved that subject as well. And that's where a little bit of the confusion started to set in for me. So I wanted to be a psychologist, but I was doing criminology and I loved both subjects. So I started to feel conflicted, thinking, well, do I want to be a forensic psychologist or do I want to go into the police? I'll have to confess here that I did at one point think I would want to work for the FBI. But here's the thing that was also confusing to me. I loved to paint in my spare time, and I even considered for a while doing art as a career. This is the multi-problem. In other words, if you relate to this, if you have gone through your life, or maybe you've gone through a phase of thinking, there are just so many things I want to do or could do, I don't know which one to choose, then you are not alone. Although we don't specifically look at being multi-passionate as part of the model, it is something that we consider in the early stages of the acquire section of the model, and this is all around getting your vision really clear. Now this was really important to me in my own career path because although I did go on to qualify and work as a psychologist, and I absolutely love it, to actually have complete understanding and clarity around the fact that I wanted to do multiple things and that they could knit together took a long time to cement for me. I think like a lot of people, and maybe if you're watching this you relate, you tend to think that there is this holy grail, this one job that we should find and should love for the rest of our lives. And that's really, on reflection, a really archaic response, particularly in today's society. You see, back in the day when people went for that one job and wanted to have that one career, it was for very different reasons. In other words, it was a different time. It was a time probably when having one career was seen as the right thing to do. There was maybe more opportunity for career progression, and people really wanted that stable salary and the law of the pension. Fortunately, we live in a society where you don't have to find that one job for the rest of your life. A job can just be for Christmas. In my own life, I've had so many jobs and done so many things, and for a while I felt really frustrated with that because I thought that it wasn't a linear progression to do this one big thing I was supposed to do with my life. But here's the magical thing, it's only on reflection and looking back on all of those things I've done that I eventually realised that they all came in bloody useful. And I'm not just saying it to be cheesy and to give your CV a lift. Honestly, the things you will get from doing the things you've done in your past are probably more invaluable than you realise. Some of those little paths that you take off-piste, or the things that you do that you think are a waste of time, can come in at a time when you least realise it. But here's the thing I want to give to you today if you are in this position, because like I said, for me, I eventually got to the place that I am where I feel completely happy with what I'm doing. But one of the biggest things that made a difference to me getting that understanding was this one thing, and that is what you want to do for free and what you want to do for money. Now, why does this make the biggest difference? So why is this so important? Well, when you start to get clear on what you want to do for free, you will start to get clear on the things that will always be a hobby, things that you do for passion and fulfillment, things that don't need to bring in a salary, versus the thing that you want to be your living. This was really big for me. So for example, I said to you I considered being an artist, and I struggled for a long time thinking I should be bringing money in from this, and how will I know whether this is my career or not if I'm not really working hard at making this my career? But the thing was, I was in action about it. I tested the water, and that's how you'll know whether this is the thing that will bring in money or it's the thing you want to do for free just because you love it. So what is it that you love to do? Is it that you love to play the piano? Is it that you love to paint or craft? Is it that you love to be around animals? The minute you get the distinction around the thing that you want to bring in money and the thing that you want to do for free, that is just for enjoyment, that's where the magic happens. Don't forget that you can do all of these things that will make up your multi-passionate career. And maybe you'll just do things for short periods of time, because that's what life is all about. I hope you found today useful. I'll be talking about this topic again. And if you like what you've seen, please click on the link below to subscribe. And that way you get this in your inbox every single week. Bye!